we're gonna go back to David Reinbacher. This poor kid like can't get away with anything. Like didn't even start his fucking NHL career, and there's already
Oh
like
man.
question marks and fucking darts being thrown at him. But did you guys hear like around 6 days ago, like even by the time this episode airs on YouTube, which also you should like and subscribe, by the way. He's got this disease called Osgood Schlatter. I call it the Chris Osgood Schlatter disease. Um, so apparently this disease, and I'm gonna have it in front of me somewhere. It's something that messes up his
So it's a
not
common
doesn't
cause of knee pain in
yeah
growing
knee pain.
adolescents.
That's it.
It's an
Yeah.
inflammation of the area just below the knee where the tendon from the kneecap
Okay.
attaches to the shin bone,
Shin bone.
the
So
tibia.
apparently, well, there's good news is that if it doesn't worsen, remains under control, like he's got a 95% or like at that young age, don't fully quote me on this, but I saw, read, and heard that there's a 95% chance that he can recover from this disease. Apparently, the team, his European team he was playing at, apparently they didn't know about it. They just thought his knees were fucking swollen from all the playing that he's been doing, all the ice time he's been getting. And now there's a concern amongst Habs fans,
But
and it's just another
But
reason for
but it
them to
hasn't
bitch.
been confirmed. He has it though, right?
Yeah, he does have it.
It's
Yes,
confirmed.
I believe so.
Okay.
Well, yeah, according to these reports.
but they say that the Osgood shelter only goes away at 18 years old latest. After that, it's with you forever. It's
Well,
something that
fuck.
it's something that a child goes through his growth spurt. Once the growth spurt stops,
Yeah.
that's when the disease goes away. If it goes away, if not, this guy's
Okay.
not growing anymore.
Well, yeah, maybe he still is at the age of 18, but I don't know.
Well,
Is
he's
this
18. He's 18.
yeah.
Okay, so we're still good. We're still good. It says as of 18
Anthony
years
has
old.
contacts with his doctor and his physiologist and his biologist. Anthony knows, but is it a cause for concern? Like for now, I mean, I don't think so. I am not too worried.
Mm.
I mean, the kid played great in Europe. He was one of the best defensemen with this so-called issue, this disease. Is
Yeah,
it
but it's,
But
something?
but also one of the things I read about the medical, when they checked him in Europe before the tournament, it wasn't badly swollen. It was just it showed signs of like he was playing a lot of hockey up to
Mhm.
that point, right? So like it wasn't abnormally swollen, right? So that's another
Okay.
positive thing,
Okay.
and that's why they didn't really think it was this issue, right? Because
Okay.
it wasn't blatant. So who knows? Maybe he's gonna get over it faster than we think.
But
And by the time he's playing in the Montreal Canadiens, he won't have any issues at this point in 2 years, right? So,
we have to ask the question. I mean,
but like
The Canadians knew about
they
this,
had to
right?
have known, dude. They had to have known.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no way they didn't know about this,
Fuck, man,
right?
what a disaster.
the Canadians have to have done their homework, but again, I don't want to say it's something that's common, but even growing pains, like he's a big kid, he's 6'2", went through like fucking growth spurts where you're in brutal pain. Like, anyways, I know it's not the same thing, but like you said, I'm sure they did their homework, and it's pain. It's a minor inflammation. As like these guys have the top end doctors taking care of it. Even if there's a certain amount of inflammation, I don't think it's going to be detrimental. I just think that he's going to have to be a little bit more cautious, and
Mhm.
they're just going to have to follow him a little bit more. But it's like the people are treating people here in Montreal as if they chopped off his fucking leg at his knee, and he now has one leg. Like, calm down.
It's the same people that are calling Slavkovsky a bust, and he hasn't
Oh,
even
fuck off.
My
even
God.
before he played a fucking first NHL. Here's my thing though. It's like if he has to, I hope to God it doesn't come down to a point or a situation where he's got to play with like a knee brace his entire career. I hope it doesn't come down to that. I hope it doesn't affect his speed. I hope
Didn't Markov have that?
Markov had bad knee injuries, but I mean, he was still able to keep up. But again, that was an era where the speed of that game
That's true.
wasn't. But yeah,
That's true.
I
Interesting.
I'm curious to see. Well, now the real question is curious to see what happens. I mean, like he's under contract, obviously Reinbacher, but and it seems like he's going back to Europe for at least one more year. Probably he has some things he wants to take care of. He wants to finish school, I believe,
School.
something like that. But you know what I mean? With a situation like that and a disease, like with that kind of medical condition, like do you see maybe his role eventually changing once he gets to the Canadians, or if he gets to Laval?
No.
Like I don't know. I still don't know what his ceiling is, though, to be honest.
I
I
mean,
still say top 2, and at the very worst, a top 3 defenseman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see him in the top 2. I mean, like we said, I think that they did their homework before choosing him. I don't think this is a surprise. I think this is a surprise to the media. Something leaked in the media, and it was something for the media to talk about. But I highly doubt Gorton and Hughes chose this player when there's Mitchkov and who was the other guy? Carlson still available, or no? Was it Carlson available? No.
The Ryan Leonard was still available.
Yeah, Leonard was available.
Um,
Mitchkov was available, and yet they go choose this guy. If they wouldn't go that route, knowing, like, I think this is just something that the media is just making bigger than what it is.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, maybe. I think so too. I'm not making it. I personally, I don't think it's that much of a big deal. It's just, again, it's because you like to the best of my knowledge, like knee injuries and ankle injuries are the worst. So if he's already having knee issues, so I'll call it issues, not injuries.
but
But
that's something you talk about before the draft, right? That's something that all these, like, when you're rated of drafting,
Mhm.
I assume, they talk to doctors and see and check out their report. I highly doubt these things are hidden
Yeah,
from
that's true. There are,
scouts.
yeah, that's true. I mean, there's some players that there's medical reports that are. I think there's some medical reports that are available to teams. I cannot confirm this 100%. I don't know, but you hear stories of players dropping in the draft because of injuries. I think Zachary Leuter at one point was one of those. Because he had I'm trying to, it was a Quebec major junior player. Like he was he was supposed to be ranked high 20s, but then he dropped a little bit, or they were afraid that he was going to drop because of a history of injuries. So you gotta believe that they knew. You gotta believe that they had some kind of report. So
100%. It's all clickbait, things to talk about. I mean, it's supper.
Yeah.
It's supper. It's summer. There's not much to talk about.
it's supper. It was supper.
There's not much to talk about, and this is something to talk about.